The village woman went to the palace for her first audience with the emperor, and instead of bowing 3 times, she shouted the emperor's name at the palace gate, demanding that he come out and meet her. The commander of the imperial guards, who was on duty, was immediately terrified upon hearing this. In his 30 years of life, it was the first time he had seen someone dare to call the emperor by name. Angrily, he immediately prepared to open the city gates to see who was daring enough to cause trouble under the emperor's feet. However, when he stepped outside and saw the woman, his confidence instantly faltered, and he collapsed to his knees. It was only then that everyone was shocked to discover that the plain-looking farmer woman in front of them was actually the emperor's sister. At that moment, the emperor felt a chill down his spine. It seemed that his most feared older sister was standing behind him, holding a whip. It wasn't because he was a coward, but because when he was a child, if he misbehaved, his sister would hang him in midair and whip him for 3 days and nights. At least 29 days a month, he was beaten. Still, he tried to reassure himself that he was just overthinking. After all, his sister had been away from the capital for 20 years, and even if she returned to find that he had successfully governed the country, she would surely be pleased. Little did he know, he was about to face a disaster. Just recently, he had arranged a marriage between the top scholar and the prime minister's daughter. He thought this would win the prime minister's favor and secure the top scholar. What he didn't know was that the top scholar was actually the fiancé of his niece. When the grand princess learned that her brother's meddling had destroyed her daughter's happiness, she stormed into the palace demanding an explanation. Upon seeing the attitude of the imperial guard's leader toward the woman, the scholar finally realized his mother-in-law was no simple woman. However, his own mother dismissed it, thinking he was overreacting. She believed the woman was just a mad villager and not the grand princess. Only the prime minister's daughter could deserve the title of princess. The scheming woman, hearing this, was smug. She recalled her mother had recently said that after this marriage was settled, the emperor planned to make her a princess. She shamelessly admitted to her mother's view and even boasted that there had already been rumors in the palace about her future title as a princess, though the imperial decree had not yet arrived. This only made her mother more satisfied with her future daughter-in-law. Meanwhile, the woman was completely unaware of this. She hadn't returned in over 20 years, ever since she became pregnant with her daughter. As she looked at the familiar surroundings, she planned to take her daughter to the imperial kitchen to improve their meals. However, they were stopped by a small eunuch who questioned them about their purpose. The scheming woman, never missing an opportunity, immediately reported that the woman, a country bumpkin, was upset about the emperor's marriage arrangement and had come to demand an explanation. Since the small eunuch was new and had never seen the woman before, he didn't recognize her as the grand princess. Instead, he scolded her loudly for daring to defy the emperor's will. The scheming woman, aiming to get the woman in trouble, advised the eunuch to report to the emperor. She also promised that the prime minister's house would remember this favor. The eunuch, eager to gain favor, quickly ran off to inform the emperor. At that moment, the emperor was inside the palace, happily playing with crickets. Suddenly, a knock sounded at the door. The emperor was terrified, thinking his sister had come to settle scores with him. He quickly hid under the table. Once he heard it was the eunuch, he relaxed and quickly sat back in his throne, pretending to be serious. The eunuch entered and quickly explained everything, saying the woman had come to demand an explanation. The emperor was enraged. He couldn't believe a countrywoman dared to defy him. At that moment, his personal eunuch reminded him that if this matter was mishandled, it would surely cause public uproar. It would be better if